Excellent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my regular Sunday evening in the UK, Zoom call about Wealth Warriors. And we're going to do things slightly differently this evening. I've rewritten part of the presentation. And we're also going to look at a couple of spreadsheets a bit later because they help to tell the whole story. If anybody wants to contribute or ask a question or anything like that, then just put your hand up, and if you don't know how to do that, down the bottom of the Zoom screen, there's a button that says reactions, and one of the reactions in there has got its own little button inside that pop-up box is raise your hand. So if you want to contribute to the meeting or ask a question, anything like that, we don't want to do that too much because we've got a full meeting to get through, and I'd like this to be an hour. I have tried to bring this meeting down to less than an hour, but it's very difficult because there's a lot of information here, and I know that people have to hear the same information several times before they understand it. But this information is particularly difficult to get your head around, as I found out again today. So we're going to talk about Wealth Warriors, and Wealth Warriors is a community. We're not a platform, we're a community. And you'll understand when I go through the presentation why that's far, far, far more important than any one platform, because platforms come and go, but the community remains. And I started on this course of building Wealth Warriors about probably about 8 months ago now. Many of you were with me on those early days when I took my first few fledgling steps out into the world to build this community, and you realize I didn't really know what I was doing. I just had a vague idea of the fact there should be something that we can do to mitigate against all of the forces marshaled against us. And there are a lot of things against us that we need to take into account, because we want to take control of our own future. We don't want any single platform or the government or the regulators or our upline or anybody else being in charge of our future. We want to set things up so that we're in charge of our future, regardless of what happens with any platforms. So with that in mind, I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't really know how to get there. So that's why I took a few false starts, a few cul-de-sacs, a few wrong turns. We got involved in a few platforms that we shouldn't have. And I think I lost some credibility then with some people. But of course, I never professed that I was perfect then. Of course, I'm perfect now. That goes without saying. But I didn't profess to be perfect then. And so Wealth Warriors has kind of come of age. Everything, all the rough edge has been knocked off. We swapped out a few things, and the last few pieces of the puzzle were put in place only a few days ago. And some of you have seen my latest video about commitment to Wealth Warriors, and if you haven't, I'd encourage you to read it. It may sound like I'm lecturing, and in the video I explain that possibly I am a little bit, because I would rather lecture and people accuse me of lecturing, but at least they understand the message, rather than me be a little bit wishy-washy and people miss the message, because it's not me that's important, it's Wealth Warriors and how you interact with it. So that being said, let's start on the presentation, and I'll take you through. It's a PowerPoint presentation, but it's nonetheless for that. It's I do this because then I know that I've got everything covered, everything you need to hear, everything I need to say is all covered. So welcome to Wealth Warriors, financial freedom fighters, and you've heard me say it many times before. But every single day I'm reminded that we are freedom fighters. We are the rebels living in the jungle, doing little guerrilla raids and little forays into the big city, where the dictatorial government, the totalitarian government, would love nothing more than just have us completely wiped out. They don't want us making money in this online space, and the sooner they can get us all to just give up on that silly notion and bow down to what they want, then the better off we'll all be. Apparently we'll all be a lot happier if we stop trying. Well, I'm not going to do that not anytime soon. I'm not going to do it anytime ever, because I believe in individualism. I'm probably the original individualist. I believe you have the right to do anything you want, as long as you don't affect the rights of other people. and I would fight and die to support you for that. And but there aren't many ways, there aren't many things we can do to take control of our own finances. All the banks, the financial institutions, the government, they've hemmed us in with laws and regulations and meager interest rates and just so many things that stop us from making a lot of money. They allow us to make 5% in 5 years on an ISA in the UK, and then you get your rewards tax free. And we're meant to be grateful. That's just a pittance, an absolute pittance compared to the amount of wealth that we could make if they didn't impose their silly rules and regulations on us. So I'm pretty hot on this stuff. This is why I like the idea of wealth warriors and the fact that we are financial freedom fighters. Your financial freedom is very, very important to me. I will work hard to help you become financially free. And I know you hear a lot of leaders and networking gurus and people like that say these things, but you don't have to speak to them very long to realize they don't mean it. They think they do. They've got good intentions, but they don't really mean it because they don't know how to do that. They know how to make it for themselves. They don't know how to help you do it. You either do it their way or or they won't help you. So we are financial freedom fighters, and I'm proud of that. So let's move on to the first bit. This is a disclaimer. It's not a financial disclaimer or anything like that, because we don't need a big long disclaimer, because it just simply says that nothing in this presentation is financial or investment advice. We're not an investment platform. We are a community. And if you do decide to invest or spend money in any of the platforms discussed in this presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose and carry out your own due diligence. I do a lot of due diligence, but it's not my responsibility to do the due diligence instead of you. Hopefully, my due diligence will give you confidence that I wouldn't waste my time bringing a platform to the community if I didn't think it was good and worthwhile, it was going to last, and it was going to be profitable for all of us. But I can make mistakes. I hope not to make too many, and I hope not to make too many too soon, but I can make mistakes. So you need to carry out your own due diligence. I'm not responsible for what you do with your money. Number 4 is have a strategy to recoup your initial investment as soon as possible. I'm not telling you what the strategy is. I'm telling you you should have a strategy. And typically what we aim to do, and again, you can do whatever you like, but I advise people to get their money back out of a platform as quickly as possible, and then carry on building with the house money, and then get to a certain point where you're withdrawing half of your money to use for yourself, and you're reinvesting half of your money to allow that asset to grow. And there's a reason for that. One is, well, there's two sides to the coin. Any platform you look at that you think is good and worthwhile to put your time and money into, if you constantly take the money out and you never put it back in and never allow it to grow, then you're never going to get above that initial, few dollars a day, few dollars a week, because you're still at square one, you're still at the starting point. Okay, so if you never progress beyond there, that's all you're ever going to have. And if that platform then survives for 5 years, you'd be kicking yourself thinking, I wish I'd reinvested some of that money, because right now I'd have a lot more money. Okay, so that's the pull in one direction. The pull in the opposite direction is that if you don't take any money out and you reinvest 100% of whatever you earn, and the company does go bust, and it can go bust for a number of reasons, it doesn't have to be a scam. It can still go bust, still mean that you lose that money. So if you've taken nothing out and it goes bust next month or next year, then you say, well, I wish I'd taken out some of that money that I'd earned. So it's a balancing act. Take some, reinvest some, have it grow a little bit, but also use what you've earned today. Okay, so I think that's a good balance, and that's kind of what I encourage people to do. What you do is up to you, of course. So what is the problem with online businesses? Why have we gone to the trouble to develop our own community called Wealth Warriors? Well, one, there are just too many scams out there. I mean, there are more and more and more every single day. Luckily, they're becoming easy to spot. And one of the things, and I'll tell you about the criteria that we use in a minute. And if we stick to these criteria, we will avoid most of these scams. Some of you know that a lot of the big scams that ravaged the landscape over the last 4 or 5 years, I managed to avoid. Things like cash effects and hyper and these things. Okay, so I didn't fall for those, but I did fall for some others that I thought were good. And in fact, one of them that I fell for was good, but the government stepped in and saved me from myself by making me lose $70,000. So thank you very much, American government. I appreciate the salvation. Okay, so there are just too many scams out there, for one. The second thing is those businesses that aren't scams are so poorly run that they go bust. We've recently started working with a company in Asia, and they have 6 people in their accounts department. They have 200 people working in the whole company, and they're a startup company. We've worked with businesses in the past that don't have 6 people in the whole company, let alone just in the accounts department. Okay, so if they're poorly run, if they're not set up as a proper corporation, set up with all the things that a company needs to survive and thrive, then it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how good the platform is. If the company isn't working, it's not going to work. And I know we have some business experts on the call today that would I'm sure they would back up exactly what I'm saying. Those businesses that aren't scams and don't go bust get shut down by regulators and government departments, because you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The government departments and the banks and these sorts of people do not want you making money in an online business. They want to control everything you do with your money and your time. And that's it. But the reason is that they are, although they may be your elected politicians, there is a deep state in the sense that there's a permanent government in pretty much every country. We in the UK, we call it the civil service. And all of that is controlled by the World Economic Forum. They are the people who make the policy decisions and tell our politicians what the policy decisions will be. And that's why people say it doesn't matter who wins the election, the government always gets in, because there's very little change from one government to another. Maybe 1 or 2 policies, 1 or 2 things addressed, but mostly things carry on as normal. We end up giving all of our money to the wealthy elite who own or who are in the World Economic Forum. Okay, and that hasn't changed for 110, 111 years now. Okay, it was set up as a deliberate ploy to get your money, and it's still running very nicely, although it's all going to implode fairly soon. But it's at the moment it's running nicely. They're getting all of our money, and we can't have any of it. Which is crazy, because the world is far, far, far more wealthy now than it's ever been. There's never been so much wealth on the planet than there is right now. Yet most of us can't manage to make even a few million or a few tens of millions of dollars, in an absolute golden age of information technology, cryptocurrencies, decentralization, and so on and so on and so on. Just so many things going in our favor, yet we can't make, a small fortune. And it's not by accident. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not your fault. Now, it doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses, you cannot become truly free. You can't be financially free, time free, and free from government control, except I'm going to show you how you can through Wealth Warriors. So what can we do about it? Individually, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past because we don't know enough, we don't understand enough, we don't have the contacts to figure out what to do to break out of it. Well, now we do, because collectively we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of this industry. And whether we do that or not, collectively, we can help most of us become wealthy. We can generate our personal wealth, we can generate generational wealth if we want to, and we can live an abundant life. So who would want to be the first one to cross the minefield, or would you rather follow someone who's already crossed safely? That's just a general observation, that the reason we want to do this collectively is because we don't want anybody out there, or we don't want people out there blowing themselves up in the minefields. Let's do something. A few of us get blown up, but everybody else knows where the mines are now. And generally, I'm the first one across the minefield, because when we're looking at these platforms, I'm the first one to study it, pull it apart, put it back together, put my money in, test it, spend time, money and effort, analyzing it and so on. And so there's been a lot of businesses I've done that weren't even good enough for me to bring to the community. So that's me crossing the minefield, getting blown up, getting scammed, losing my money because I don't want you guys to. We're safer together, and with safety comes, and this might surprise you if you think about it, it's not a natural correlation between this, but if we are safe, if we get into a platform that is going to be producing the goods, and it's not going to do a rug pull on us. It's going to be there for maybe 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, what that does is it gives us time. It gives us time that we can start small and build from there. Very few people are actually going to start a business like this big. They're not going to start at the top, because if they're going to start at the top, they already have the money that the rest of us are aspiring to. Okay, so we all start small at whatever level we are, and then we want time to build. That's the most important thing that you'll get from the platforms that we adopt in Wealth Warriors. You have the time to build something that's going to be significant. What I'd say is develop a plan and then follow that plan to become truly free. And Wealth Warriors is that plan. Within Wealth Warriors, there's room for you to, do your own thing to a certain extent, but don't change it so much that it's no longer Wealth Warriors, because then you'll lose all of the key benefits that I'm going to show you in a second. So there are 7 concrete benefits that I can prove to you. I can show you that these things are real, and this is what you get by being part of Wealth Warriors. And a bit later, I'll tell you the rules of Wealth Warriors, because you don't get the benefits without following the rules. That may sound dictatorial, and I don't apologize for it, because that's the way the world works. You don't get paid before you've done the work. At your job, you go to work first, then they pay you. Okay, so that's the way the world works. First, you follow the rules, meet your commitments, and then you have the benefits. The first benefit is that your growing income is protected from rug pulls. You don't have this thing where you wake up in the morning, the platform's gone. If you do, it's a minor setback, not a major issue, but we'll cover that in a minute. Benefit 2, your team is loyal and committed to you. And the reason they become loyal and committed to you is, 1, they realize that you're part of a team that can get them where they want to be. And 2, you yourself are loyal to Wealth Warriors and to me and to your upline and so on. People do what you do. People duplicate what you do. If you're not loyal, other people in your team won't be loyal. If you just run around jumping into every platform that you think is a good idea, that's what your people will do. And pretty soon it's absolutely pointless, you and your team being in Wealth Warriors. You may as well just forget about it and go and do something else. Okay, Wealth Warriors has some rules, and I'd suggest that if you want the benefits, then you follow the rules. Benefit 3. Any second now, you protect your permanent network from losses. When I tell people this, and I've had quite a lot of fairly large business, networking people contact me and say, I see what you're doing with Wealth Warriors. Can you teach me how to do it? Okay. And when I talk to them about having a permanent network, they say that's an absolutely brilliant idea. How do you do that? Okay. So they understand the brilliance of what we're trying to do, but they can't do it themselves, because their mindset is not about having a permanent network. It's about everybody scramble for the top as fast as they can, get in things quick, get in early, make some money, get out again before it goes bust. Okay, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. And if you're enjoying yourself doing that, keep doing that. But that's not what we're doing. So we have this idea of a permanent network, and I'm going to show you how to develop a permanent network and how to maintain it and how to grow it. Okay, and the benefits, the reason why you want to do that. Benefit 4. You make future business much quicker and far more profitable for you and your team. So imagine you have taken a year to build a team of 1,000 people, and a new platform comes along. All of a sudden, you're starting that new platform with 1,000 people. Okay, you're not starting it from scratch. All of a sudden, you're halfway up the bonus chart, and you only joined up 3 days ago. Okay, so making future business much quicker and far more profitable. Benefit number 5, build one business and grow all 4 businesses. How great is that? You might have, out of the 4 projects we've got on the go, you've got one that you like the sound of more than the others. You want to spend your time doing that. Wouldn't it be great if you can enroll people into that business, but then the following Sunday you bring them along to this talk, and I talk to them about why they should now go and join the other 3 platforms. Okay, and then they go and do that. So you spent your time building one platform, but now you've got people signing up below you in 3 other platforms that you've hardly spent any time showing them. Okay, so you build one, but you grow all 4. And if you don't believe that that's an absolute stroke of genius, then I don't know what you're looking for. Benefit 6, reclaim recent payments made from your bank account. So if you have a checking account or a bank or a current account, as we call it in the UK, all the payments you've made from that bank account, you can reclaim. Okay, it doesn't matter. You spent the money on a holiday, you spent the money on, you wrote a check for cash, you bought a new car, doesn't matter. Whatever the money was for, doesn't matter. You can reclaim all of those payments out of your bank account. Okay, and we do that a year at a time. At the moment, we're claiming back 2022. So I've just had a notice from the tax department saying that I'm claiming back in US terms, I'm claiming back $168,800 for 2 bank accounts from 2022. Okay, and they're getting ready to send me a check, which I think is pretty awesome. Okay, and I can show you how to do that as well. Number 7, become wealthy and live an abundant life by creating as much currency as you need. And some of you know how money works, most of you don't. And it doesn't matter whether you do or you don't. Just trust me on this fact that you are the motivating force. You're the primary driving force behind the creation of currency. Now, what's typically happened is you've created currency in the past and you've been fooled into thinking that somebody else gave it to you and you've now got to repay them. I'll give you an example of that, and that is a mortgage. When you fill out a mortgage application, just by signing that bit of paper and giving it back to the mortgage company, what we laughingly refer to as the lender, they take that bit of paper and they bundle that up with some other stocks and some other CDs and whatever financial instruments they like. They bundle it all together and put a price on it, and they sell that on the stock exchange. Okay, and the and foreign governments, the Chinese and the Germans, buy all of these bundles of financial instruments. They buy them from whoever's selling them. Okay, so far your money, your signature has been used to generate that money, that currency has now been created by you. So then what the bank does is it arranges for you to receive the money that you think is for your mortgage, and they give it to your the person you're buying the property from. Okay, and they fool you into thinking that they've given you that money. Now, then there is a legality. They're not allowed to tell you they gave you the money. So if you look back at your paperwork or anything they ever said to you, they never said, we will transfer the money to you. They said, your money will be available in your account. They're not allowed to say the money's been transferred to you, because everyone knows that's a lie. That's your money. You created it. Okay, so the money is now available in your account and it gets used to buy a property. But what the bank now does is fools you into thinking, because they gave you that money in your account, that you've got to repay it. You haven't. That's absolutely not true. That money was yours the moment you signed that mortgage agreement, and that's it. They transferred the money so the money appeared in your bank account. You buy the house and we're all square. You don't need to repay anybody because that's your money. Now, there's plenty of stuff in law where people fool us into thinking that it's their money they're giving us. Mortgages is just one example. And what we'll do over a period of time is I'll teach you how to address that and how to start getting some of this money back, and also creating new money for yourself as you need it. Okay, so if you want a new house, a new yacht, a new car, then we just create the currency, and you then buy the things that you want with the money you've created. People don't understand the financial system. It sounds wacky. First time I heard it, I really didn't believe it. I fought against it for about 2 years. So feel free to disbelieve me because I understand. But at some point when you understand what I understand, you will realize it's an exciting time to be alive. So these are the 7 concrete benefits that I can offer you as being part of Wealth Warriors, but it doesn't come cheap. And you'll see that in a minute. So let me just give you an example of some of those benefits coming into play. This is an illustration. So let's imagine we deal with 4 platforms, which coincidentally right now we do. And imagine you have 10 people in your group and they're all in the same 4 platforms that you are. And you're making, this is an assumption, you're making $1,000 per month in each of the 4 platforms. Therefore, your total income is $4,000 per month. Let's see what that looks like. So this is platform 1. You've introduced Alan, Bell, and Chris. Alan's introduced all the A's, Bella's introduced all the B's, and Chris has introduced all the C's. And as a result of the business going through that business, you are making $1,000 per month. Now, everybody else is making a bit of money as well, but we're just worried about your income. So you're making $1,000 per month. So let's move that out of the way, and we'll introduce platform 2. Now, the first thing you notice about platform 2 is everybody signed up in exactly the same positions in platform 2 that they were in platform 1. This is an important point of what we do with Wealth Warriors. Okay, people who run around changing lines of sponsorship, and 1 minute there's somebody's up line, the next minute there's somebody's down line, the next minute they're not even in that platform. That destroys relationships and friendships, and it makes for a very unstable business. Whereas this makes for a very stable business and a very profitable business. So platform 2 is exactly the same size and shape, and we're assuming platform 2 is as profitable as platform 1, so now you're making $2,000 per month. So let's make room for platform 3. Platform 3, exactly the same thing. The same people sign up in the same positions in platform 3, and now you're making $3,000 per month. And platform 4, exactly the same thing happens. Same people in the same positions. Now you're making $4,000 per month. So that's not bad. It's not breaking the bank. Nobody's, you're not networking morning, noon, and night. You're not building the biggest empire the world has ever seen, but you're making $4,000 per month. And for most people, that would probably be enough money to live on. Maybe not a flash lifestyle, but it would mean you can relax, not have to worry too much about what your boss is doing, because you probably wouldn't have a boss at that stage. And so you carry on like that with those 4 platforms in place. And this is assuming nobody else gets in. But imagine somebody does get in to your business underneath one of these people. It doesn't even need to be below you. When they get in, they'll get in because of one platform, but they'll be introduced shortly afterwards to the 3 other platforms. So that person starts to make money in all 4 platforms, and everybody in the 4 platforms already improve their lot. They will make a bit more money as a result of introducing one person into one platform that then cross-pollinates into the other platforms. So this carries on now for a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years if we're lucky. But eventually something happens with platform 4. Maybe the owner dies and there's nobody else around can run the thing. Maybe the government shut them down. And bear in mind that with the way the governments are these days, you don't actually have to break any laws. I know people that have been shut down, even though they didn't break any laws, and 2 years later, by the time they've proven in court that they didn't break any laws, it's too late. The business is gone, their fortune's gone because they've had to, spend it on all these legal fees. So you don't actually have to do anything wrong for the government to pull the plug on you. I also know things where people have where the government just seized the assets of a company, whether they're doing anything wrong or not, and that company is just gone. Okay, so but it doesn't matter why platform 4 is gone. Platform 4 goes. Look what happens to your income. It drops all the way to $3,000 per month, which is not the end of the world. Yeah, you haven't been reset to 0. You haven't lost everything. You still have an income of $3,000 per month. And in reality, that would continue and grow from there anyway. But the best thing about this is what's happened to your relationship between these people, or between you and these people, or between your people and their people? Nothing. Nobody's upset. Nobody feels they've been cheated or lied to or scammed or betrayed. You made all that money and I'm left with nothing. None of that. Okay, because you still have relationships in 3 other businesses. So this is how we protect our permanent network. This is how we create a permanent network. Everybody signs up in exactly the same position in every single platform. So a later stage, so then I go into overdrive and I think, well, I've got to go and find another platform to replace platform 4. And I investigate and I go through several dozen businesses, which is my normal practice, sometimes several hundred businesses. And eventually I turn up something that's going to be a good fit for us. And so I introduce platform 4. Not very imaginative, but at least we understand what we're doing. So within a few seconds of you getting into platform 4, or within a few seconds of platform 4 appearing, You sign up in platform 4, but below the person who introduced you to the other platforms. Then you sign up Alan and Bell and Chris within a few hours, okay? And then Alan signs up his people within a few hours after that, and so on. So within a small group like this, within a day, everybody's signed up in platform 4 and start making money. So that's what we're aiming to do. And depending what platform 4 is doing, it could well be that you're making $1,000 a month within a few weeks of being involved in the 4th platform. It might not. It might be that you have to take a little bit of time to build things up. That's understandable. But you're back on track for increasing your income back up to $4,000 per month. And of course, people will introduce people anyway. So this is going to grow from there. So that's the illustration of how it works and how we can offer those concrete benefits because of the way we're doing this. So what are the rules? And I've said a few times, these are the rules. I used to talk about commitments, but I've talked to lots of people and I say, well, why are you doing that? Because that just destroys what you're trying to do with Wealth Warriors. And they say, oh, I didn't realize. I said, well, is it because I say commitments? And most people don't realize that when they say, yes, I'm committed to that, they don't realize that's actually a very powerful statement. If I say to somebody, I'm committed to doing this, to me, that means I'm going to do it. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get it done because I'm committed to it. Most people don't see a commitment like that. A commitment is something they'd like to do if they can, if it's not too much trouble, as long as it's not too inconvenient, then, and that's what they see commitments as. So what I've done is I've changed this. We don't have commitments to Wealth Warriors anymore. We have the rules. And one of the benefits to having the rules, one is it's quite clear what it means. And 2, it's quite clear that if you don't want to apply the rules, then you don't have to be a member of Wealth Warriors. You can't have the benefit. You won't get the benefits anyway if you don't follow the rules. So it's pointless being in Wealth Warriors if you're not going to get the benefits. So sorry if I'm coming across a little bit strong on this, but I wanted to explain why I'm using the language I am. So the rules of Wealth Warriors are: 1, don't sign up in any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, we will adopt it at some point. You might be the one that brings it to me and we investigate it together. And then we decide, yes, we can use that. And then everybody within Wealth Warriors signs up in exactly the same position that they are in all the other platforms. As you see, your brain, straight away, your brain is thinking, yes, but I brought it to you. I should be upline. Okay. But would you rather have the benefit of just that one platform that may not last? Well, it won't last. No platforms are going to last. They're all going to go, as they all have a useful shelf life. That might be quite a long time. It might be 15, 20 years. But at some point, every single platform we all sign up with is going to go. So would you rather have the temporary benefit of that, knowing you've actually destroyed your community that you've built up within Wealth Warriors, or would you rather have the strength of the community where you can build an absolute fortune in security? It's up to you. But rule 1 says don't sign up on any other platform that comes along. We will adopt it. If it's a good one, if it meets our criteria, we will adopt it. Now, you can sign up on other platforms and just sort of do your own thing. Don't bring it to Wealth Warriors. Don't try and incorporate it into what we're doing. That's fine. I'd never decry that. But then when you join up in that new platform, what happens if in 3 months' time Wealth Warriors is going to adopt that platform? Then, but you're already in. So you've created a little bit of a challenge for yourselves. So I would say don't sign up on other platforms. Come and talk about it. And if it's worthwhile, we'll investigate it and adopt it. And if it's not worthwhile, then it's entirely up to you, because we'll never adopt it. So therefore, it's up to you whether you get involved or not. There are a lot of good businesses out there that we will never adopt. You'll see why in a minute. So the second rule is do sign up in all the platforms that we do adopt. So we have 4 platforms at the moment. Everybody in Wealth Warrior should be signed up in exactly the same position in all 4 platforms. I know that's not the case, but that should be the case. And everybody watching this video, everybody on this call, I'd like you to try and address that in your local, your little part of the community where you are. Make sure people sign up in all the platforms we adopt. Number 3, do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. Absolutely vital. Less than that means you end up destroying the very security that you're trying to build. Number 4, do get your personally introduced people to do exactly the same as you've done, the first 3 things there. And number 5, do support your own people by learning about all of the platforms we adopt. So you haven't got to be an expert, but you should know where the experts are. You should know which documents to refer to. You should know how to do a withdrawal and a deposit within these platforms. Okay, so you don't need to be an expert, but just know enough to be able to help some people. And when you can't help them anymore, who to pass them on to. You know, what the support system is, what other groups are available to them. So that's the rules. Why do we worry about the rules? Because if you want the benefits, or because you want the benefits, I should say. Therefore, you must follow the rules. It's ipso facto, if you understand Latin. You know, because you want this, therefore you must do that. The rules are to ensure that you get security of income, build your permanent network, become wealthy, and live an abundant life. That's what they're for. They're not for my benefit, not for me to have a big ego and say, oh, look, I'm going to be upline in every single platform we adopt. Okay, that's really not what I'm trying to do at all. It's the time and effort I put into this is for you guys. Okay, I could do this myself. I could build a big business and make a lot of money without doing all this. But I do believe there is room out there. There's a need out there for something, a system that can stop people from being scammed, losing their friends, losing their money, and this is it. You know, months ago I would have said, we think this is it. When I first started out, I would say, I hope this is it. But now I know this is it. And so the fact that I'm making the rules hard and fast, I don't apologize for, because I know I know what we need to do. Okay, I've got the plan, I've got the map, I've got the compass, I've got the bit of string, whatever that's for. Okay, but so I know where we're going, I know how to get there, and this is the way to do it. You'll also miss out on all the drama associated with the latest scam or failed business or rug pull. I know, I see people in chat rooms and they love, oh, well, I lost this much and I lost that much and I hate this person and I'm going to report him to the SEC or the police, or, you know, I'm going to go kick his dog or whatever they want to do. Okay, we'll miss out on all that drama. I'm ever so sorry. If you like that drama, then I apologize, but we won't be having any of it. We refuse to play. Being community centric means that you put the community first, not yourself. And a lot of people get their head around this. This is why a lot of these big business people that want to learn how to do this can't, because they don't understand put the people first. They say they do, and that's so frustrating for me. They say they do, and then when I ask them the next question, they say, yeah, but then this would happen. I say, yeah, but don't worry about that, because when you put the people first, this will happen. So, oh no, what if it doesn't? You know, you can't do both. You can't put the community first and put yourself first. You just can't. Remember, platforms come and go, but the community survives. Look at it another way. There's a good example just popped into my head now. How would you like all the different platforms and businesses you've been involved in over the last 5 years? How would you have liked it if you'd have had the security of knowing that when you lost money in all of those platforms, sorry, when all of those platforms went bust, you lost some money, but you didn't lose everything. You didn't lose a single friend. Okay, and you were able to carry on and build securely and build for a long time in the other platforms. Wouldn't that have been something? Okay, so it's no good looking back. That's all happened. We need to go from here and look forward, and we can make this happen for us. You can be part of Wealth Warriors if you follow the rules. And that's not a threat. That's not me saying, if you don't follow the rules, I'm going to kick you out of Wealth Warriors. The point is, if you don't follow the rules, you won't get the benefits. So what's the point? You're just wasting your time. You're fooling yourself. If you think you can get the rewards without without following the rules, then you're fooling yourself. So you'll have a lot easier time of it if you just carry on doing what you're doing, getting into scams, losing money, losing friends. At least you know that business model, you know how that works, and you can get back into being, you know, having all the drama that you love so much. So that's really it. If you want to be part of Wealth Warriors, then you need to follow the rules. And I would rather have 4 people in Wealth Warriors who are happy to follow the rules than 4,000 people that just, you know, want to do their own thing. I'm not in the business of herding cats. I tried that for a long time. It doesn't work. I'd rather just say, this is what we're doing. Anybody who wants to come with us, this is what you do. So that's what I'm saying. So how do we know what platforms to adopt? One is it must be available in the whole world. Two, it must have a uni-level compensation plan. None of those binaries or forced matrices or any of that nonsense, because that's just a way of paying you less than you've actually earned. You know, you get 40% of the strong leg and 3% of the weak leg, apart from on a Tuesday. You know, and it's just nonsense. Okay, if you've done this, if your organization is responsible for this much sales, then you should be paid a compensation based on that. A Unilevel does that. No other system does. People must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost, i.e. $100. So we've stuck to that with all except one of the platforms, but the one that you have to pay more to get involved, you will make an intelligent decision at some point that the extra money is worth it. Okay. So the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means we can maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. That is absolutely essential. So therefore we have 1, 2, and 3 criteria. So we have our own rules that we follow, and we have these criteria for adopting the platforms. They're like the rules the platforms have to follow as well. And if we can do all of that, then it all meets in the middle and it's great. And it must be based on real world applications. And all of the platforms we're involved with now are real world applications. We've got real life trading, we've got 3D property robot printing, we've got a Bitcoin mining operation. Okay. We've got an introduction to abundant life and freedom. So it's all real world applications. None of this, you know, ROI on a screen, give me this much money and I'll give you back 5% extra in 2 days or something like that, where you can't prove what they're doing, you can't see what they're doing. We don't need that. There are so many good platforms out there that we can adopt. We don't need to get involved in things where it's almost guaranteed at some point somebody's going to run off with the money. I'll tell you why. It's just mathematically, although you put some money in to try it out, and 5 days later you get back 20% or whatever it is, okay, the very first thing you do with that money that you just got back is put it back in the system again. And then you get it out 5 days later, and the next thing you do is put it back into the system again. So at whichever point the company decides to pull the rug and run away with the money, they will get almost everybody's money. Yeah, almost everybody will have almost all of their money tied up in the system at that point. Even if you've been taking the money out and putting it back in, the chances of them running away with the money and stopping you from depositing at the exact time you withdraw and redeposit is negligible. So everybody will have all of their money in the platform at that point, even though it doesn't look like it. You feel like you're in control. Well, you are up until they run away with all your money. So, more criteria. We must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. Okay, so we go and see the head office, meet the owner. Go to the head office, see the company's accounts, see the robots they're building, see the Bitcoin that's being mined. Okay, all of these things. Meet the owners of the company and see the operation and so on. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all our questions answered. Some of you know we've spoken to CEOs before, where we come away with more questions than we had before we met him. And the compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And very often, just running a calculator over a compensation plan is good enough. You just say, that's not going to work. They're giving away too much money, or they're not giving away enough money. You know, why should we do all the work and get paid peanuts? So we do all of that as part of our due diligence. Number 8, the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. Okay, so I don't think anybody's got an issue with building houses to try and solve the world housing shortage, mining Bitcoin because the world needs Bitcoin miners, or Bitcoin transactions to be processed, I should say. You know, trading on crypto exchanges, nobody's really got a problem with that. But things like gambling, gaming, money lending, things like that, not everybody's going to be able to get behind, so we don't get involved in any of those. Now, so many people, again, don't understand what we're doing. They want me to get involved in something gambling. And I say, no, we can't do that as one of our criteria. And they say, well, how about just some of your community do it? No, we don't do that. We're a team and we go together, go everywhere together. So these are the platforms we've adopted so far. One is Fractional 3D. And Fractional 3D is linked to a company that manufactures these house printing robots, literally 3D print robots. And we provide the liquidity so that the company can rent out those platforms to construction companies, government departments, and so on. And then they rent these robots out at $5,000 a day. And so we get our small cut back every single day. It's about 0.5% per day. Okay, so therefore you double your money every year. So it's 400% return every year. I don't know about you, my bank does not give me 400% return. Excuse me. So that's pretty good. We'll come on to that in a minute. I've got a little bit more supply prepared for each of these platforms. Trade Like Crazy is real cryptocurrency trading with verifiable results published daily. Freedom Matrix, step-by-step plan to become free. So when you register with that, follow the roadmap to freedom. Watch some videos, fill in some forms, start the process going, and work towards becoming financially free. Sorry, becoming free, not just financially free, but completely free from everything. BitHarvest Bitcoin boosting. So we're not really mining Bitcoins. What we do is we're enabling the Bitcoin farms to be more efficient, and we get paid as a proportion of the added efficiency. So it's a no-brainer for the mining farms because they only pay us a small percentage of what we help them improve their performance by. Typically, they get 60% of the improved performance. We get 30%, and the company running this, gets 10%. So let's have a look at these in a little bit more detail. Fractional 3D, the house printing robots, you invest in plans between $100 and $100,000, various different ones. All plans double in 6 months. You 4x your money every year, or 400% every year. Profit is returned to your Trust Wallet or MetaMask instantly in USDT BEP20. No need to withdraw, it's already there, it's already in your wallet. As soon as you've earned your profit, bang, it's in your wallet. If something happens to the platform or the company, doesn't matter, the money's in your wallet. Compounding passive earnings by buying more, compound passive earnings by buying more plans with your profits. So there's no built-in compounding system. You have to compound yourself by buying more plans. Earn direct bonuses, indirect bonuses, and matching bonuses up to 35% based on the volume that your team brings to the company. So I'll just point out those last two things. The first one is passive earning. The top 4 or 5 points are passive earning. The last one is an active kind of earning route. Okay, so you can get in, pay your money, and you'll earn that money by doing nothing. The first money, the 400%. That's doing nothing. That's passive income. But if you want these bonuses, indirect bonuses, matching bonuses, they are as a result of building a team of people. Now, you haven't got to do that. You just have the passive income, and that's a great income. But by building a team, you can increase your income. And that's kind of the same theme with every platform we adopt. We want the passive side, where people can just get in and earn some money. And those who want to then go ahead and build a network and generate additional income. So let's look at how we work that with Trade Like Crazy. So the company has a team of 20 traders. All results are verifiable. The average monthly earnings, so this is the passive earnings, is 15 to 30%. So if you put $1,000 in, you'll earn $150 to $300 in 12 months. And you can buy a package for $20. $50, $100, $250, $500, $1,000, so on up to $100,000. You can withdraw your profit every day or reinvest some or all of the profit. Buy more packages with profits to monthly earnings over the last 12 months. I just realized what I said. Yeah, so you would earn $150 to $300 per month. Okay, so it wouldn't take long before you got your $1,000 back there. You can carry on investing and build up a little nest egg, take some out, reinvest them. Anyway, where I was, buy more packages with profits to compound your passive income. Okay, so again, that's how you compound within this system. It's not an automatic thing. You buy more packages. The compensation plan, there is a compensation plan for introducing others from 15 levels. Okay, so that's pretty good. Matching bonuses from 5 levels. And you can also qualify for an iPhone, MacBook, watches, cars, or their cash equivalent. Anything from $1,000, $3,000, $20,000 for a watch, $60,000 for a watch, an Audi RS. I'm not sure what they're worth, probably $100,000, or a Lamborghini, or you could have the $350,000. Now, I'm not a big fan of these shiny objects. I think they can be a bit of a distraction, but they're there, so might as well take advantage of them. Freedom Matrix. The company has created a roadmap to freedom. So you sign up for free as a member. If you want to introduce others, then you can also then upgrade to an affiliate, or if you want to have be a network originator, which means you have you're like a super affiliate. So you have affiliates below you. So you're a network organizer, you have affiliates, and those affiliates have members. You also have your own members. So you have to sign up for each of those different things individually. It doesn't happen automatically. So initially pay to recoup your checking current account for outgoings for 2022. That costs £1,000. It's British. Or £2,000 for a business account. But if you're going to claim back like I am, it's about £150,000 UK, and I paid £3,000 for that. That to me, that's a good investment. I like those odds. And you can use this recruitment money then to reclaim subsequent years. So when we've done 2022, we'll do 2023, and then next year we'll do 2024, and so on. Or bank accounts, reclaim your bank accounts, reclaim your loans, your mortgages, and so many other things. They all cost money to reclaim, but you've got this initial burst of money that you've reclaimed from 2022 bank accounts that should fund you then to do all these other things. And I'll show you how to create new currency as needed to live a life of abundance. It's your money. Once you create it, it's your money. So take it, buy a house, buy a ski lodge up in the Alps. Platform number 4 is BitHarvest. And BitHarvest, they provide devices called Bit Boosters. So you can buy a whole Bit Booster for $1,000, or you can buy 10% shares for $100. So you can buy 5 shares for $500, for example. There's a one-off payment, and this is what I absolutely love about this. You pay that $1,000 to start with, and you earn money forever. You earn $5 to $10 of Bitcoin every single day. And you can buy as many of these Bit Boosters as you want. There's no limit. Bit Boosters enhance miners' profits and work with any mining farm in the world. The company has agreements with mining farms so that they can then receive, or they send us the data for us to process, and we track the improved performance, and we already have our money. We don't have to ask anybody for it. The extra money comes into the company, and it's automatically put into your account every single day. Each Bit Booster returns $5 to $10 every day as a passive income, and you can earn commissions on sales of Bit Boosters in your group. So if you start introducing people and they buy Bit Boosters, which they will, then you can earn commissions on that. And you can also earn, once you have a group and they will have Bit Boosters, you can earn a percentage override of the Bitcoin mined in your group. Now, to me, that's very exciting. I love having a device where I earn Bitcoin myself, but I also like it that I help other people. And when I help them earn Bitcoin, I earn some Bitcoin as well. So if I help 1,000 people, I'll have more Bitcoin than if I only help 10 people. So that's a great system. So if you like Bitcoin, this is a no-brainer for you. And you can buy more Bit Boosters or shares to manually compound earnings. So again, there's no automatic compounding system in place. So our communications, we run a Telegram group called Wealth Warriors. Within Wealth Warriors, there's a separate area for each of these platforms. Plus, we have something for motivational posts and so on, and some training and some other things. Okay, so make sure your upline adds you to that group so that you can keep up to date with changes. That's why we post everything to do with Wealth Warriors. So just make sure and check in there every day or every couple of days. We hold the Zoom call every Sunday at 10 o'clock UK time. Attend yourself, bring new people, and make sure your people attend. It's a shortcut to fast growth. You can see how this is a very complicated system to explain to people, and people, even when you tell them and take the time to explain to them, they have to see it 3, 4, 5, 6 times before they understand it, because nobody thinks like this. Nobody thinks like this. They think the platforms are the important things, and they're not. It's the community that's important. Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. Yeah, sorry. Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. So, for example, BitHarvest has a Zoom call at the moment. They're having a Zoom call every single day at 6 o'clock. Trade Like Crazy has a Zoom call, and the times are published in Wealth Warriors. Okay, so attend them. Take your people with you. For Freedom Matrix, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. From start to finish, that first roadmap will probably take you 2 months. So the sooner you start, the sooner you can get it finished and start claiming some of this money back. Get the referral. So what to do now? Get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. They should have 4 referral links to give you. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links. Pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. And make a minimum payment into all opportunities. If you can't do this, okay, if you can only afford to put $100 into one, select the one that interests you the most and make the minimum payment. But then as you make some money with that, and as you maybe have a little bit more money free, then you might pay minimum payment to get another one up and running. If you only have one platform on the go, if you put all your time and effort into one platform, and that's the one that the government closes down next, it's done you absolutely no good being a Wealth Warriors. You should have roughly 25% of your whatever investment money you have, roughly 25% spread across, in each platform. Okay, so 25% in each platform, roughly. And that way, when something goes wrong, it's not a major disaster for you. Still what to do now. Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. Attend a Zoom call or watch the video for each platform you've added funds to your account. And as new platforms are added, make sure to get the referral link of your upline and join as quickly as possible. Pass your referral link on to your existing team and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. Okay, so imagine you have a group that's got 20, 30, 40 people down. You don't want to be waiting 7 or 8 weeks before the people on the 15th level eventually join. Okay, you need to get organized so that as soon as it's available, you sign up, you pass your links on straight away within an hour or so, and the next people sign up and they pass their links on within an hour. And you want to be able to get to the bottom of the group, whether it's 10 down or 100 down, you want to get there within a couple of days. You don't want to be still trying to do this weeks later. It's because that's all money, and what you're showing people is this doesn't really matter that much. Just take your time. It's important to take your time and do it right, but do it right with a sense of urgency. And then get on a presentation for that new platform and learn all about it. So grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to the Wealth Warriors Zoom calls or by sharing this video from YouTube. You get Wealth Warriors landing page by signing up for a free account with System.io, and then import my funnel. There's the address. You'll be able to get this off the video when it's up on YouTube. And if you go there within System.io, you can just download that funnel and you have everything you want. And all you need to do is to change your referral links in the emails so that they're not my referral links, they're yours. And then you're ready to go. There's also a Trade Like Crazy landing page with and emails available to subscribe for $19.95 per month. That's up to you. I'm not doing it myself, but I know some people are. That's what they want to focus on. And you can get, you can build that business quickly and easily with this Trade Like Crazy funnel. So if that's something that interests you, go to that backstage.io web address and subscribe. You can subscribe for a month and then unsubscribe if you want to, if it doesn't work for you. So yeah, so that's how to turbocharge your business a little bit. Now, bear in mind, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We're trying to take the guesswork out of it. And we have, by and large. If you understand what you've been shown on this presentation, we've taken the guesswork out of it. It's not a case of will you be around long enough to build a fortune? Okay, that's not what we're debating. The fact is, you absolutely will be, and we'll be able to use the same platforms for a very long period of time. But like I say, every platform has a shelf life. Okay. We only want to work with companies that are in it for the long term. We only want to work with companies that are above board. We do all that as part of our due diligence. We want to build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is. You know, it could be a large trading account. It could be a large pile of Bitcoin. Whatever it is, we want it to get bigger and bigger over time. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered, and we want to apply. This is an important point. I wish I spent more time labouring this. The reason for doing this is because we want to apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We don't want to be at the mercy of any one company or any one guru or any one thing. We want to be in charge of our own destiny. And so therefore we have to do things differently from what we've done before. And so that's why I took it all apart, put it back together and saw what we needed. And this now is a perfected system. This is exactly what's needed. Excuse me, for you to build your financial future, to build your personal wealth and your generational wealth, and to become free in the long term. When I say in the long term, we're talking a few years. We're not talking decades. We're talking 2 or 3 years. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts on your platforms. If you don't know what this is or how to do it, Google 2FA. You know, Mr. Google knows these things. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. If you have a safe, put it in the safe. But make sure that the people who need to know have access to that information. So the executors of your will or your beneficiaries wouldn't be ashamed to build up a small fortune of several dozen Bitcoin these days, and when something happens to you, nobody even knows you've got those Bitcoins, let alone how to access them. So make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death or incapacitation. You know, part of a living will maybe. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. We are financial freedom fighters, and I'm going to very quickly, I know I'm over time now, but I'm going to very quickly go to one of the spreadsheets. I can't see which one it is. Okay, is it the Bitcoin rewards per day or trade like crazy? Why can't I see? Okay, I'm going to assume that we're here on trade like crazy. This is just a simple, we've got 2 simple strategies and a tracker in this spreadsheet. So the 2 strategies are strategy 1, make a deposit and let it run for 2 years. And every time the plan matures, buy more plans with all of your profit. This is trade like crazy. And when you first join trade like crazy, you buy a package, and when it's 3 times its money, then that's the end of it. So you pay, you buy $100 package. When it's returned $300 to you, that's it. That package is gone. So what this is saying is make a deposit, let it run for 2 years, and every time the plan matures, buy more plans with all of the profit. So in week 1, you get in with $1,000. At the end of the week, roughly, this is roughly 4.5% per week. Okay, for various reasons, I'm not going to go into detail. And so by the end of 2 years, you've turned $1,000 into $96,000. So that's plan 1. Okay, just wait for a plan to mature and then buy another one. This strategy is every time you get enough money together, buy a new plan. So do that with your profit. Don't wait for the plan to mature. As soon as you've got $20, $40, $60, whatever it is, okay, just buy a new plan at that price. So the plan prices are 20, 50, 100, 250, and so on. So on week one, we deposit and we make the same as we did in the other under the other strategy. But now we've got $45, we can buy another $40 plan, which is actually two $20 plans. So now we make more money. But now we've got we can buy another $50 plan. We could actually have done 98, we could have done 90. We didn't, we did 50. So we make even more money. And then we'd get another $50 plan and another $50 plan and so on. And eventually we're building up more and more and more plans. Okay, some of these numbers look a little bit arbitrary, but that's, you know, that's a 500, 100, a 50 and two 20s. So you just have to figure that out. What this means is that after 2 years, you've turned $1,000 into $127,000 just by following this simple strategy. Now you haven't got to do this, you can have your own strategy. But I like those. I like those. The TLC tracker, this is my own personal figures. I started with one of those, and now from my profits, I've got 2 of those, 4 of those, 9 of those $100 packages, and a couple of $250 packages. So I've turned $100 into $1,640 over about 3 months, I guess. And I'm earning $11 a day, and I can buy a new $100 plan. That's all I'm doing now is buying $100 packages. So in another, because if I was doing 20s every other day, I would buy a new $20 package. But I'm saving up for 8.71 days, and then I buy a $100 package. When I add some more numbers in here, that figure goes down. Pretty soon I'll be able to buy one every 7 days, 6 days, 5 days. Then I'll be buying one a day. Then I'll be buying several a day. Okay, and that's where you hit exponential growth. So that's just my ready reckoner for me to keep track of my own trade like crazy business. So that's that one. So I'm going to close that down, and I'm just assuming that I told you the right one. So hopefully now you can see this one. And this is the Bit Harvest planner, if you like, where we look at let's look at the investor. So this is where you get in. We're saying that we're going to earn from our bit booster. One bit booster is going to earn that much Bitcoin every day. It's about $10. And that's what the company tells us that the boosters are actually earning. So if you have $100 worth of bit booster, you don't make any of these sales commissions. And if Bitcoin is by 2030, Bitcoin is 1.5 million, which is entirely possible, then your Bitcoin that you've mined every single day for the next 5 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 35,000. Okay, if you wanted to buy a whole bit booster and not do anything else, not introduce anybody else, okay, your holdings of Bitcoin, your holdings of Bitcoin would be worth 355,000. Okay, so all you do is buy that for $1,000, sit back and do nothing for 5 years, and you'll sell your Bitcoin for 355,000. So then there's some ranks as well, so you can work your way up through the ranks. And this is saying that if you meet these criteria, then you've got enough Bitcoin that costs 365,000. Sorry, 262,000. 2-star is just over 1.1 million. 3-star, these are the absolute minimum requirements for the different criteria. That's over 2 million. 4-star, this is just a case of personally investing or buying for yourself 15 bit boosters, as having personal sales of 40 and having a group that's got 800 boosters in it. You're making about 8 million. I'm not going to carry on. I'm not going to do it anymore because if working, not even very hard, but just working for the next 5 years for $8 million isn't enough, then I'm not going to show you anymore anyway. So there we go. I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to switch off the recording.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.